Here's what's coming up on Retirement Planning Made Easy.
A lot of people think of bonds as the safety portion of their portfolio, and we saw during COVID that that is not always the case. And so what happens when interest rates rise is that the bonds that your portfolio currently owns become less and less desirable, and that means the price starts dropping.
Oh man, you have to completely change your lifestyle to accommodate a loss that, in theory, if you planned well, should not have affected you.
No. So again, to mitigate that, the best way is look at income being out of vehicles that provide you that income that will not be subject to market downturn.
TOP is the tag optimization process, and basically it is our holistic approach to our retirement planning. We take a lot of factors into consideration and make sure all of those pieces connect and are working together to support someone's goals, lifestyles, income needs, things like that.
So it's important that you develop a correct plan for you, and you look at both of your situation, you and your husband, and you think of not just your current needs, but also what your needs would be if he were to predecease you, or vice versa. That is one of the things we see most often missed in a plan.
And now, the host of Retirement Planning Made Easy.
Welcome to this week's show.
We've got 30 minutes of great information prepped up just for you.
And the show starts right now.
Today on the Roundtable, we're going to be talking about making your money last in retirement. Brad, what are those things that people need to be aware of that could truly wreck that money piece in retirement?
Well, running out of money would wreck your retirement.
Yes, it would.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I don't think people want to move back in with their kids,
No,
right?
exactly.
They don't want to change their lifestyle, they don't want to go back to work,
No.
and they don't want to move back in with their
Some
kids.
of them could move in with their parents. I mean, you know.
Good. Today, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Wow.
No, but running out of money is, it is a risk. It's
Yes.
something that should be considered. And so, a person would be likely to have Social Security, maybe a pension, but imagine if you have no savings or investments, that's all you have. That is now your lifestyle, is limited to whatever that number is. And so that can be a major risk, because what if an unexpected cost comes up? What if a healthcare cost comes up? You don't have the money to cover it. And it's a major problem for some people.
Yeah, and I read somewhere, Lucas, that about 1/3 of the United States will be able to retire with the lifestyle they currently have. That means 2/3 are going to have to make changes somehow. But I think at the end of the day, this all comes back to proper planning, holistic planning, like what you do at TAG. And let's take a moment and talk about your proprietary system that you have here called TOP. What does it stand for? Summarize it for me.
So TOP is the tag optimization process, and basically it is our holistic approach to our retirement planning. We take a lot of factors into consideration and make sure all of those pieces connect and are working together to support someone's goals, lifestyles, income needs, things like that.
Yeah, and I have it right here, and I think this is really important because there are a lot of people out there that are really good advisors, right? They've helped you save that nest egg and get it to a wonderful place where you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you're like, I am going to retire within the time frame that I thought I would. But there's so many aspects to it. Retirement planning, investment planning, retirement withdrawal, how am I going to pay myself, tax efficiency, healthcare, wealth management planning. All of these pieces that are a part of it that I would venture to say not every advisory firm is proficient in. They might be a specialist in one area, but you really need to put, Brad, all of these pieces together, because we want to make sure that that money lasts as long as you do. Yeah. We want to make sure that, hey, maybe I'm giving some of this money to my children, maybe I'm doing it to my university, to my charity, whatever that's going to be, and it requires proper planning.
Exactly. We like to think of a client relationship as is for their life. It's not just a one-year plan, one and done, and it's over. That's why all those pieces are so important, because we need to check in regularly with them and make sure that all of those pieces are still communicating correctly to achieve their goals.
And are we talking about this as an annual review or a quarterly review? So
At least,
you
yes.
put the plan in place, and Lucas, let me ask you this. The plan, is it just a spoken plan?
No.
Is it fully written out? Like you actually physically have a copy of your plan?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for all of our clients. Yeah, I mean, everybody's situation is different. So we build custom, unique, specific plans for every client. We don't just come in and say, all right, here's what we do. We take a lot of things into consideration and build those plans specifically for what our clients are looking for.
You know,
and we print them in color.
and they're in color, very nice. You know, and we laugh here for a minute, but I think there's a really important note, and I'll ask both of you, how often do you see somebody come in and you're meeting them for the first time and they don't hand you a plan? All they hand you is, here's all my accounts.
It
Yeah.
happens all the time.
Pretty much every
Is it
time.
50%? Is it more than 50%?
It's pretty rare that a client comes in with a written plan.
Yeah.
And the reason that I ask, Brad, is that people at home right now are saying, well, I've got the accounts, but I don't have a binder or folder or whatever that says, here's how everything's being laid out for me through my retirement.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, you have accounts, but you don't have a retirement plan.
No.
Correct?
Exactly. And imagine if that person were to pass away and now their heirs have to wade through all of those pieces and try and figure out where is everything? You know, what was the purpose of this? And, you know, who's the beneficiary? It can be very complicated.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. You know, and I'll use my story as a quick example here. My father was very well planned out. Everything was in a binder, and I remember for years my father would send us addendums. We're like, I don't want to see this. You know, hey, it's coming. It's going to happen at some point. But even with that, Lucas, we still had questions at the end in a very well-planned plan of things and where they were going to move and what account was what, and who was the beneficiary, even though it was literally, you know, in a binder with various tabs on it on how everything was to be laid out. So I can only imagine if there was no plan, what would we have done? And for my mom, what would we have done, right?
It'd be very tough. It's a complicated process. And I'll reverse that because I went through a situation when I lost my father, no written plans. So I had to go on the hunt and try to find what accounts are out there. I found statements from 40 years ago, and I had to continue to call and say, hey, do you have this account? Is it still open or active? So it's a difficult process regardless, but yes, having those plans, making sure the beneficiaries know where accounts are, what accounts are where, and things like that will make the process a little bit easier.
Yes.
Lucas, Brad, thank you very much. Really important topic today and a lot of little pieces in there. Listen, if this jolted a question inside you, pick up that phone, give us a call, let's start a conversation. Get the solutions you need. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You're watching Retirement Planning Made Easy.
At the Advisory Group, we understand the importance of smart tax planning. Maximize your returns and minimize your stress with our unique tax efficiency strategies. Don't let taxes weigh you down. Keep more of your hard-earned money. Call the Advisory Group today to experience the freedom of tax efficiency planning. Call now or scan the QR code on your screen to schedule your complimentary consultation. The Advisory Group, providing financial peace of mind since 1991.
Hi, and welcome to this week's Mastering Retirement with TAG. Brian, I love this topic, but I think a lot of advisors don't explain it properly. They get very technical with it instead of just simplifying out for people that there is in the market, depending on when you retire, hopefully things will go up for you, certainly in those first 5 years, but it could go the other way. So sequence of return, why when you retire matters as much as how you save. And I think a lot of people are unaware of this. Hey, I've got my diversified portfolio, come what may, I'm all safe, but that might not be right for people that are heavier in the market. That could be, in fact, based on this, if I'm heavier in the market and I start to retire and I have a few bad years in a row, well, I'll let you tell the story here because we've got it written up here right now. So sequence of returns, why is that important?
It's important because of what happens in the market at the time you're ready to withdraw money. So if you're heavy in the market or if it's just what you're taking from the income from, If that experiences negative returns in the early years, it's going to shorten the time that that account lasts.
So let's talk about that for a moment, because this is really important. I'm taking money out of the market, and I'm using that to pay myself. Maybe it's the old 4% rule, maybe whatever it is. But if I have one or two or three bad years, and I'll just paint an example here. And this example, I don't see it exactly on here like this, but let's say I have $1 million, and I'm taking out 4% a year. That would be $40,000. So let's say we have a 2008 over again, right? I still need my $40,000 every year, but I lose 50%. So now I have $500,000, right? I still have to take my 4% out, which is now almost 10%. The math on that says this is unsustainable in the long term. So we want to make sure that doesn't happen to people, right? Because the market corrects.
It does.
And 100 years of evidence of up, down, corrections, all the goodies. So sequence of returns, what can we do? We've got Jane and Jim's portfolio here.
Well, the first thing I say about it and tell everybody, I say there's only one thing worse than losing money. It's taking money out after you've lost money. And that's what this represents. If you weren't taking money out, it's a different story. Because maybe then you could just let it sit and let it come back or something like that. What makes this difficult, and you'll see the difference here on Jane's versus Jim's portfolio, is the difference it shows of having negative returns early in retirement versus having positive returns early and then negative later on. And so the idea of this chart shows is that at 81, Jane is out of money, or close to out of money. She's not quite out of money, but it wouldn't take much longer she'd be out of money. And look at the difference of Jim. He still has $344,000 and Jane has $74,000. Quite a difference. And that's all because of sequence of return, they call it. It's all because of the return that she received early on, negative in the beginning versus later.
Based on the year they retired, right? Based on the year
they were the same age, retired the same time, same amount of money, everything is the same. The difference is why this is important in your planning is we don't know what the market's going to do. You can't control the market, but you can control your withdrawal strategy. So the key to this is mitigate to vehicles that give you guaranteed income or something that no matter what the market does, you're protected.
So should one of my takeaways be, don't pay yourself from a fluctuating account? Is that one of the takeaways potentially?
It doesn't mean you couldn't do that, but you should be strategic or not have your entire portfolio or most of it that way.
Right.
It's okay to have money that way, but what we find happens with a lot of people is when they lose money, when this situation happens, now they stop taking money or lower the amount of money they're taking out. And they're going, because they don't want to take it out after it's lost. Well, now you're not getting to enjoy retirement the same way.
Oh man, you have to completely change your lifestyle to accommodate a loss that, in theory, if you planned well, should not have affected you.
No. So again, to mitigate that, the best way is look at income being out of vehicles that provide you that income that will not be subject to market downturns.
You know, it's another part of sequence of returns. I'm just thinking about it right now. So you're taking the money out of those respective accounts. There's a downturn, maybe 2 of the 3 of the 5 first years, but you also have fees you got to pay. So that the odds of getting back to flush are so complicated now. So this could have a very long-term effect, on retirement.
Definitely.
If those first 3-4 years aren't positive.
Right.
And that is an uncontrollable variable.
Right.
You
So
just have to plan properly.
Control
for it.
what you can control.
Right. Brian, thank you so much. If you want more information about this topic, so you have control and make sure something like this potentially doesn't happen to you, hey, give us a call in the office. We'd love to share more with you. And don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You're watching Retirement Planning Made Easy.
Now more than ever, it's vitally important to review your current retirement plan and get an educated second opinion. Hi, I'm Lucas Dengler, and for many American retirees and pre-retirees, this is a confusing time. As a local business here in the Quad Cities for over 30 years, we have educated thousands of families on how to retire well through all market conditions. Call now or scan the QR code on the screen to schedule your complimentary consultation. The Advisory Group, providing financial peace of mind since 1991.
At the Advisory Group, we understand the importance of smart tax planning. Maximize your returns and minimize your stress with our unique tax efficiency strategies. Don't let taxes weigh you down. Keep more of your hard-earned money. Call the Advisory Group today to experience the freedom of tax efficiency planning. Call now or scan the QR code on your screen to schedule your complimentary consultation. The Advisory Group, providing financial peace of mind since 1991.
Hi, and welcome to this week's Retirement True or False. Brad Lucas, I have some stumper questions this week. We ready?
Ready?
Here we go. Brad, first question for you. If interest rates rise, then bonds could be the next big bubble where investors could get hurt.
That is true. A lot of people think of bonds as the safety portion of their portfolio, and we saw during COVID that that is not always the case. And so what happens when interest rates rise is that the bonds that your portfolio currently owns become less and less desirable, and that means the price starts dropping. So if you're looking to bonds for safety, they might not be the safety you need. There might be a safer option.
Yeah, and I want to make this distinction here. There are bonds and there are bond funds.
Yes.
What's the difference?
So a bond is the actual bond itself. It is an instrument that pays you an interest rate generally, and it has a price that changes depending on the interest that it's paying. A bond fund is a group of bonds, a large group of bonds. Maybe there might be some stocks in there too, but it's a bundle of bonds, usually done for diversity's sake. The problem with both of them, though, is they are not 100% safe.
And people should know the difference of whether they have which one in their portfolio, right? Because
Definitely.
that could be an alarming outcome.
Yes.
Possibly.
One bond tends to be more risky than a group of bonds.
Gotcha.
So you should know the difference.
Gotcha. Lucas, next question for you. The best strategy in retirement is buy and hold. True or false?
That's going to be false, Mark. With buy and hold strategies, that's almost like setting it and forgetting it. That is not anything that we recommend. There's a lot of things that change. The markets change, lifestyles could change, and we always need to stay on top of things to react proactively.
Oh, but Lucas, it's all going to go up at the end, right? What are you worrying about these quarterly statements for?
That would be great if it all just kept going up and up. But things change. We do see those market corrections from time to time, so we need to diversify and have money in different baskets.
Yeah, and I love one of the things that you do at TAG, which is you actively manage portfolios. Take a second and talk about that.
Yeah, so we meet with our clients annually to do regular reviews. Again, everything changes. We need to stay on top of those changes, and we check in with you. Clients are more than welcome to call in if they have questions or they want to meet with us sooner than the annual review. So we like to stay on top of things and work proactively.
Brad, last question for you. All retirees should claim Social Security benefits as early as possible. True or false?
False. Now, it is possible that claiming as early as possible makes sense for you, but in a lot of cases, it makes sense to wait. And the reason for that is because Social Security, the amount you will receive increases the longer you wait. And so if we look at it over time, over your lifespan, waiting for that increase may actually net you a considerable extra benefit
And
over
isn't
your
that
life.
increase about 8% per year?
It is.
Till age 70 or
After full retirement age, it which is 67 now
Okay.
for most people, it increases 8% per year. And so a lot of people think, well, why wouldn't I take it early? What if I have a health issue or something like that? The odds are that you won't. And so we're big believers in planning for a longer lifespan, because the worst case scenario you can be in is that you live longer than your money.
And I think there are some people that are of the school, well, goodness, we're whatever we are now, 36 trillion, 37 trillion in debt, the money won't be there. I'm just going to go ahead and take it now while I know there's still money potentially coming to me. But that could create some problems doing that, right? If you take it early, there could be a tax event from that.
Definitely. Social Security adds to your taxable income. And so what if you're in the midst of tax planning, your tax efficiency planning for your retirement, and then you take Social Security early? Well, that minimizes the amount of tax efficiency planning that you can do. And that's why it's so important to look at all those pieces, because they all talk to each other. And if you don't look at all of them, you're going to miss something.
Brad, Lucas, thanks so much. Hey, if you like the topics we spoke about this week, pick up that phone, give us a call in the office. We'd love to start a conversation with you. And don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You're watching Retirement Planning Made Easy.
At the Advisory Group, we understand the importance of smart tax planning. Maximize your returns and minimize your stress with our unique tax efficiency strategies. Don't let taxes weigh you down. Keep more of your hard-earned money. Call the Advisory Group today to experience the freedom of tax efficiency planning. Call now or scan the QR code on your screen to schedule your complimentary consultation. The Advisory Group, providing financial peace of mind since 1991.
Now more than ever, it's vitally important to review your current retirement plan and get an educated second opinion. Hi, I'm Lucas Dengler, and for many American retirees and pre-retirees, this is a confusing time. As a local business here in the Quad Cities for over 30 years, we have educated thousands of families on how to retire well through all market conditions. Call now or scan the QR code on the screen to schedule your complimentary consultation. The Advisory Group, providing financial peace of mind since 1991.
Hi, and welcome to this week's Ask Tag, where you email your questions into us and we answer them right here on the show. Gentlemen, got some great questions this week. My first one is for you, Brad, and it's from Allison Eldridge, and she writes, I'm 58 and my husband is 61. We have no idea how to best take our Social Security benefits. Can you help us?
Well, of course we can, Alice. Social Security is a very complicated beast. It is full of variables. And especially in your case, when you're married with two different ages, there are a number of factors you should be considering when you're taking Social Security. So it's important that you develop a correct plan for you, and you look at both of your situation, you and your husband, and you think of not just your current needs, but also what your needs would be if he were to predecease you, or vice versa. That is one of the things we see most often missed in a plan.
Another thing to add on to that would be the issue of looking at what order. A lot of times a big question we get within the office is the issue of who should take Social Security first. So a lot of times that's what we help look at too, because a lot of times somebody doesn't know which way they really should go.
Yeah.
You know, and there's hundreds and hundreds of different ways to take Social Security, right? Yeah. This is an extremely complicated question and a perfect timing in their lives at 58 and 61. Now is the time to reach out. Let's start a conversation. Give us a call in the office. Brian, my next question is for you, and it's from Brenda in LeClaire. And she writes, on a previous show, you talked about hybrid annuities. What are they, and why are they called hybrid?
Okay. Thanks, Brenda. That's an excellent question because a lot of people have a lot of confusion in the area of annuities. The hybrid annuities are more recent in design, and they came about really with the idea to offer something to people that would just be different or address different areas of planning. It could be, rather than just straight accumulation and looking at how they work that way, it would be something more that maybe it provides benefits for chronic care, long-term care-like provisions, or it could be something where it's more focused on income. So that's really the difference of the hybrid. You're really putting something together within a plan, and again, that's where planning would come in to look at what areas do you feel you need something in, and then look and assess if the hybrid annuity makes sense for your situation.
Yeah, and I always feel the need to go one step further with annuities because there's been some bad press, there's good press. Is it fair to say that the ones that get the bad press is the variable annuity, one, and two, there are hundreds and hundreds of different variations on fixed annuities and fixed index annuities. Fair statement?
That's a fair statement. And I'll add on to that with the idea to say, a lot of times it's just misunderstanding or not being educated. The issue is there's a lot of things in life that we go through that we look at and everything, and we don't fully understand, and it's only by what we have heard. And whether we have heard accurate information or not, my suggestion usually is, and what we do at the advisory group, is really take things from more of a neutral point of view. So we're not looking at this to say this is the exact thing you should do. We want you to be informed so you can make great investment decisions.
Brad, my last question is for you, and it's from Sergio in Rock Island. And he writes, we have a small mortgage on our house, and we're wondering if we should take the money out of our IRA and pay it off now in full, or just wait and pay it off gradually over the next 6.5 years.
Well, Sergio, thank you for calling in. And I want to say we get this question all the time. And it seems logical. Take money out of an investment, pay the mortgage off, get rid of the debt, get rid of the interest on the debt, right? The problem is you have to remember that an IRA has not yet been taxed. So when you pull that money out, you have to pay taxes on it like it's income. You're losing future gains, and you are then paying off a mortgage that, yeah, you are paying interest on, but it's not necessarily in your best interest. There are other options, like possibly paying off the mortgage with the IRA slowly over time or not doing it at all. But what it boils down to is we need to look at it with you and make a plan. And that's what we do all the time.
Brad, Brian, thanks so much. Hey, if you want more information about anything you heard here today, give us a call in the office or go to our website. And don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You're watching Retirement Planning Made Easy.
At the Advisory Group, we understand the importance of smart tax planning. Maximize your returns and minimize your stress with our unique tax efficiency strategies. Don't let taxes weigh you down. Keep more of your hard-earned money. Call the Advisory Group today to experience the freedom of tax efficiency planning. Call now or scan the QR code on your screen to schedule your complimentary consultation. The Advisory Group, providing financial peace of mind since 1991.
We can talk all day about Social Security, taxes, healthcare, income, and risk. But the truth is, your financial journey is unlike anyone else's. Hi, I'm Brian Nauman with the Advisory Group. Even a small difference like your age, assets, risk tolerance, or longevity can mean a big shift in your retirement strategy. That's why we created our customized TOP program. It focuses on the 6 most important issues that can help you make the most of every dollar you've saved for retirement. With over 30 years experience, we've developed a holistic, personalized approach to financial planning that puts you first. Please don't leave your financial future to chance. Call today or scan the QR code on your screen to schedule your complimentary consultation. The Advisory Group, providing financial peace of mind since 1991.
You're watching Retirement Planning Made Easy.
Thanks for watching today's show.
And if you want more information about anything we spoke about here today, give us a call in the office or go to our website.
The Advisory Group, providing financial peace of mind since 1991.